Are we on? Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding. And tonight, we have a very, very special guest. This basketball head is a boys and girls high school standout. As a youngster, she was a natural athlete and played the game with a passion. You know, that would cause her to pick up a few technical fouls every now and again. So go figure, because now she's a top referee. She didn't play AAU or any organized competition until her ninth grade year, boys and girls. But her lack of focus in the classroom made her ineligible for her first 2 years. After sitting out, she regained that passion, and this basketball head made up for lost time in her junior and senior year, gaining a scholarship to Cowley County Community College, but was told by her coach she would have to redshirt. So she took her talents to Southwestern College in San Diego, California. At Southwestern, she helped lead her school to an undefeated season as well as a conference championship. Set to take the league by storm again, she tore her ACL and returned home, where she would take classes and earn her degree. At the time, she picked up the whistle and became a referee. She was passionate about her craft. This basketball head got help from some of the best referees in New York City to become a standout in her field. Her plan is to get into college ranks, the G League, and then the NBA. She also started her own fitness company, Legally Fit, where she trains people who wants to put their body back in motion. So, without further ado, help me welcome to the show, boys and girls high school and Southwestern College standout, New York City referee and CEO of Legally Fit, Yahoska, Yaya, Legall.
Y'all ready? Yes. You have just stepped into the world of chaos, where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online. Buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, Ben? How are you, sir?
How you doing?
All right, can't complain. I'm blessed. I'm here.
Yeah, same here. We almost sidetracked it for a minute, you know? You so busy, they calling you for games and then, cancel them. Like, oh, we're not doing it today, so.
It's the life, man. They cancel, you go on your way, they call you 5 minutes. They're like, yeah, sorry, turn around. I mean, but it's all worth it, man. It's a game of basketball. Things happen, so I'm here for it.
You gotta love it, right?
Definitely.
So, just in case, right, I'm just gonna show you a sneak peek. You know who that is, right, up there?
Yes, I do.
That's the legend right there. She's on her way to becoming a legend. I told her, once this game is all said and done, Ruth Lovelace will be a legend in New York City basketball. What she did on the court, and then, of course, what she did as a coach is, far better than a lot of these dudes out here winning all those city championships and taking the high back to where they belong,
Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there when we won the championship. We made it to the Garden.
Right. Hey, listen.
I was able to witness get those championships as well.
There you go.
And being a part of the atmosphere, I think it's different. The high, when you walk into the high, you feel a heat. Man, I go down memory lane when we talk about that, man.
Listen. I didn't know. She put me on. She said boys and girls has the most city championships out of any other school as far as all sports are concerned. Like when we talk about overall sports, they won the most city championships.
We were beastie in track too. Football too. Not too sure about volleyball and handball. I think Ruth Lovelace was actually the coach for handball too, though. I'm pretty sure we took that from her.
Wow, that's crazy.
So yeah, though. Boys and girls is a great place, man. I know it's broken down into a few schools. A lot of high schools are now, but
Right. It first started out as an all boys school, right?
Yes.
And you kind of dominated because you had the best boys in Brooklyn going there, and then it, became boys and girls co-ed. And you would figure, like I was around during those days, right? You had the Pearl Washingtons, Eric Brown, Ed Davender, all these, McDonald All-Americans, and they couldn't win it. And then Luce Lovelace comes on, and she was winning championships.
Man, listen.
And I don't think she had one McDonald All-American.
Before this this empowerment of female movement was going on, she was doing it. And
that's right. And when we was in high school together, so she was getting like 38, 40, 50.
Back then it was
out there.
No, she's not supposed to be doing this. Now it's like, yeah, we're changing the game, and she started that, So I was there.
That's good. Well, tonight is your night, right? So we want to, definitely give you your flowers early on because, you just getting started in the game of refereeing, but you put yourself, you went through the whole high school, college thing as well, and you got your own story to tell. So who introduced you to the game?
Brooklyn, Crown Heights, man. Sterling to be exact, St. John's Recreation. Back then, kids used to love being outside all the time and not in front of technology. So, I mean, that's what I was, the goal was to get home, take my uniform off, get the homework done. So I go outside before dinner was made. And once I'm in, I'm in, it was introduced to me, I guess, by, just being outside and being a part of the community. Eventually, I think I was always a tall, my parents are tall. So I think being that tall female and athletic, I think I was just always naturally athletic. My mom was on a bowling team. My dad played baseball and basketball. So my mom always made sure I was active. I was in a Beacon program, playing in the neighborhood. There wasn't that many girls that were playing. I was always playing with the boys, but it was never organized. And once I got introduced to that organized game of basketball, it changed a little bit for me. I had to learn how to have breaks. I had to learn to not, knock you down on the floor without it being a foul. Like, why is that a foul? Like, when I'm in the hood, it's not a foul. Like, this is not supposed to be a foul. Eventually, I gained a love for it. I enjoy playing it more than I enjoy watching it. That I must say. As a kid, like I didn't want to watch it on TV. Like I couldn't sit there and watch it, for 2 hours. I'm like, yeah, I want to go outside and play basketball.
You want to get involved. Look, Ruth, she played with us because there wasn't that many girls to play with. Right. So once she got finished playing with us, and then she had to play against the girls, it was just like it's a piece of cake. And she talked about it. And just different. And I know you had to go through a lot of the same things, playing with the guys, and then have to turn your aggressiveness up just a little bit more because you're playing with the guys, and then when you get in the court playing with the girls, they call it a foul on you.
Yeah, that's the problem. The guys always, they get to be aggressive and they get to be a little, and then once you do it, it's like, whoa, but I think that's changing now too. You see a little gritty. The girls get a little gritty. And
They're tough. Yes.
So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, depending on who's officiating, right? Too.
Right.
So, yeah.
Wow.
It's a beautiful
thing. What age did you realize, you loved the game? Like, what age did it kind of kick in and was like, you know what, this is it for me?
If I'm being honest, I don't think I knew that I loved the game until I actually couldn't play the game anymore. I didn't value the game of basketball. I just played ball because I was athletic, and that's what allowed me to graduate out of high school. That was my motivation. Like, yo, if you don't get your grades together, you can't play ball. you know, and not to justify that that's okay, but I think basketball serves that purpose for a lot of young kids out there. And I think, you know, in a positive manner, then it is what it is, because it served me that purpose. I graduated on time. I was able to get a free ride to school. You know, on the negative side, I got hurt. I actually tore my ACL 3 times back to back.
Ooh.
So 2011, my season was over, and my goal was to.
I don't want to move. I don't want to move too fast. Let's
Oh,
you
sorry.
know, we still got people coming into the room, right? So, you know, that let's talk about that competitive spirit, right? Where did that come from, and when did you realize your competitive spirit was a little bit stronger than most?
My mom. I wasn't allowed to be. I wasn't allowed to be soft, really. Like it was, you know, I got that look, and it was just like, yeah, get it together. I ran track at a young age. I ran with Cool Runnings. They were a black and yellow team. They ran at Boys and Girls High School. That's where we practiced at. And from a young age, you know, I was running a lot. I was doing push-ups. I was required to do, I think, more than the average kid was doing. And I loved it. Maybe I was just energetic, and I was able to utilize that energy in a positive manner. One of my high school coach used to call me Marion Jones. So, you know, if I would have stayed there, I think I honestly could have went to any 4-year school that I wanted to. But I don't know, man. I've been around sports all my life. My family grew up in the game of softball. I'm from Nicaragua. That's, you know, their national sport. My brother played basketball. You know, all my cousins were in some type of sport, whether it was basketball, baseball, football. Every Sunday I was at Van Cortlandt Park with my family, you know, playing softball, and then we're chilling, family, you know, and we're there cheering on and booing and trash talking. Guess I was trash talking from a young age in a respectful manner, you know, censored. But yeah, I just
So you say, right? Now
yeah.
that you're a referee, right? It's all those things you look back on and say, what? Serious?
It's funny when I bump into refs and I'm like, yeah, I remember I didn't used to like you. And I'm like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Right. Yeah, so walk me through playing, you know, two sports, right? And how track went over, you know, how you started in track, but then started in basketball, but they got into track, right? And then kind of moved back to basketball as being a full-time thing.
Right.
Well, how was that, was that decision difficult to kind of walk away from basketball and go into track?
No, I walked away from track and I went to basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So all right, so take me through it.
So that decision, it wasn't that hard, and I'll say it wasn't that hard because track is you know, we say basketball is a lifestyle, but that track lifestyle, it's different. Like when you have a track meet, you know, you got 20 teammates. The track meet starts on a Saturday at 6 in the morning. You're not getting home till 7, even though you only ran 3 races and you finished like 3 hours ago. After school, I'm there. I was at Boys and Girls till like 6, 7 o'clock. I mean, I enjoyed it, but compared to basketball, you know, being able to run up and down the court, play defense, that was probably one of my favorite aspects of the game. Anybody will tell you, that's what I wasn't the one afraid to get crossed. Like I'm getting low and I'm locking you up. That's what I was doing. So it wasn't a hard transition because at that time I think I knew that I wanted to go to basketball. I think I liked that team dynamic better, and that's what I was growing into, and that's what I knew, you know, where I came from, which wasn't too far from Boys and Girls High School. So once I was given that opportunity, I took it and I ran with it. And I was blessed to have coaches that were definitely had the best interest in me academically first. Which is why I was able to, you know, manage the game of basketball and get out and succeed and graduate on time and still gain a scholarship at that, you know, and able to go away.
Right.
Yeah, that was it for me. I knew, and I didn't look back.
You mentioned something which I think a lot of kids kind of are afraid of, right? And I love it because I love to play defense as well, right? To play defense and and not be afraid to get crossed up, dunked on, right? If you really want to smoke and you really want to challenge yourself and don't just want someone to just do you dirty, right? You want to put yourself in a position when you playing defense and challenge yourself to see how well you are against the best, especially someone who's good offensively. And I think a lot of times kids nowadays, they don't want that embarrassment. They don't want to be the guy who get crossed up because what the crowd is going to say. So they'll take the, you know, the easier guy on defense and, you know, take the easy way out instead of challenging themselves. That's what I think.
I was gonna say, and the game done changed now too, because you got all these social media, you know, all these social media apps and stuff now. You got Facebook, you got TikTok, you got the Reels, you have, you know, so kids is like, you know, I just actually saw a video where a kid went on the floor and the other kid stepped on his back to dunk the ball and the referee gave him a tech. And, you know, then the post said basically like, I hope your friend was able to get the video or the TikTok for you, but you're still getting a tech. You know, because it's like kids are doing
They don't show the other part. They don't show that other part. Now, the guy could have crossed the kid up one time and the kid fell, but the kid shut him down most of the game.
Right. So it's crazy, you know, and then you have, unfortunately, the social media bullying. It is there, you know, if we're being realistic and playing devil's advocate and things of that nature. And kids deal with that on a daily basis, you know. I think they're built a little differently. Like, I trash talking, we were able to, like, just dish it back and, you know, be all right with it. And now, you know, I mean, it is what it is. And, you know, they get a little more sensitive and they're quicker to fight rather than to get a bucket back. You know, when you see good basketball, it's like, you trash talk, I'm gonna go get a bucket. I'm gonna trash talk you too probably, but I'm gonna go get a bucket instead of, you know, being ready to fight. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I think it started back in the 90s when dudes shake a dude, right? And then he'll shake him and then lose the ball out of bounds, and everybody be like, ooh, because he shook him. But he lost the ball out of bounds, and no one said anything about that part.
I think that in my head half the time, sometimes when I'm refereeing and the kids is like, oh, and I'm like, he's going east to west. He's not going north and south.
He's not going anywhere.
He too much, but okay, you know, but they're different.
Right.
There's different breed now, man. So, you know, I mean, I'm not
That's crazy. And so you kind of explained what kind of player you were. You heady, defensive player. What kind of player were you on offense, and what position did you play?
I played the 4 and the 5 mostly. I averaged 10 rebounds at least. I got about 2 blocks. Definitely 8 to 10 points, probably. You know, on a good night. I didn't start. I didn't my senior year. You know, definitely the grades, and we had 2 bigs that were good. I was the 6th man, and I loved it actually, because I understood my role and I wasn't comfortable starting. I knew that, you know, like I didn't like to start. I needed to feel the game, and once I got into the game and I was watching the game from the bench, I went in. I got playing time, so I wasn't worried about the playing time, you know, and I understood that. I don't think a lot of people understand their roles, you know, and I wasn't concerned about, oh, I'm not starting and I'm supposed to be a starter. I knew I was getting in the game and I was a factor and I was going to get the rebounds that needed to be gotten. I was cleaning up the boards. I was putting it back in. You know, I was getting the text when I need to turn the team up a little bit. Like, you know, coach might be a little bit upset, but it's all right. We there. So, you know, we didn't win a lot in high school, but we didn't lose a lot either. At that time, we weren't, you know, boys and girls basketball wasn't, you know, known as the way boys high was.
Yeah.
We weren't getting punched every game. We were winning. We only lost Murray Bertram by 18. I remember that, and that wasn't bad.
And Murray Bertram brought it every year, right?
Every year. We had
I had a few of their players on here. This is so crazy.
Tina Charles was there. Not Tina, sorry.
Well, we definitely going to get into JUCO years. Gorilla Low Young, I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, I saw that, but I'm not sure.
She said Yaya was a dog at my JUCO.
In Dago, as they call San Diego, Dago.
Oh yes. Definitely. That's love right there. Yeah. So your last 2 years, right? Your last 2 years, right? After, going through that disappointment first 2 years, correct? Your junior and senior year was the year that you did enough to garner that scholarship, correct?
Most definitely.
And what schools besides Bertram, and do you remember any players that gave your school like a rough time, like, or since you were the defensive stopper, who was the player that you said, you know what, I got to make sure I got together for this person tonight?
Man, I'm not a good name person either at that time. Like
Okay.
wasn't the
And you
most.
said Bertram was that school that you got to look forward to playing in.
Yeah, like I remember like yo, Kia can't score too much tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember that. Like, and me and Kia, it's crazy. Me and Kia are now officiating together in games. So, she got her buckets, but I think I held it down a little bit from what she was supposed to do.
Right.
But Piff did her thing. It was great, and it's great to be able to say I played against her, and now you know what I'm saying. We're getting money together, and we're changing the game. So
that's dope. Salute. Fact. So you get down to getting recruited by Cowley College in Arkansas City, Kansas, and they tell you, "Oh, we love you. We want you here, but you know what? You're gonna have to redshirt a year."
on my birthday, on my 18th birthday, we were in Dallas. No, we just came back from Dallas. It was a weekend. We went to a camp.
Now, was it your intention to go away and not stay in New York? Like you wanted to get away?
At the time and the years, if I'm being honest, I had a couple rough years of high school. I mean, I appreciate it all, and I wouldn't take it back. But it made me who I am. So at that time, I knew I felt I wouldn't say I know. I felt that if I stayed in New York, I wouldn't be focused. I felt like I would fall back, and I wouldn't stick to basketball and stick to school and be responsible the way I needed to be responsible. I think I knew I needed some type of structure. Not being able to come home and leave and go, and so that was, looking back though, I'm like, I could have stayed home, but now I say that because I know what I know now. But I think
it's always hindsight's 2020 once
right. I think mentally where I was then though, I knew probably it wouldn't have been best. So I went there and he was like, "Yeah, you're getting redshirted." And believe you not, I went into my dorm room. I called my coach, Coach Terry. "Yo, you still got that starting spot for me?" He said, "What you doing for Thanksgiving?" He said, "What you doing for Thanksgiving?" I said, "Spending it with you." He said, "I'm booking you a flight. Come spend Thanksgiving with us. Come visit the school. Come practice with the team. Come chill out. Whatever the case may be." I did that. I told coach I was leaving. And I did that. And being a kid from the East Coast and going to San Diego for the very first time, and leaving Arkansas or Kansas, we still debating on how people say that, but
yeah, right
there. The mall was an hour away. Like when we wanted to go have fun, it was an hour away. So leaving there and then going to San Diego, I was like, yeah, I'm out. Cause and it's crazy because he was still checking on me and, just, hey, how's the season going? Hey, how's everything going? Good luck. I know first practice, official day, do your thing. And that stood out and it made me comfortable enough to just call him like, "Yo, coach, you got a starting spot for me?" And he like, "Yeah." And the rest was history. I think I went back home. I flew back home from San Diego. All my stuff was already shipped. In January, I was flying right back out to San Diego.
And you put yourself in a transfer portal quick.
Yeah.
Back then. Salute to Jay Quan for Hoop Dreams and Randy for NYC Prep. What up, fams? That's crazy. Hold on. And look. Transfer portal wasn't out then, people. Just so you know, I know what's going on. But we're saying that when she made that phone call, she wanted to get out of there.
Yep. I was out, and I wouldn't I've gained experiences, you know, being out there on a whole different coast. I wouldn't take it back, man. It was amazing. It was definitely an amazing experience. You know, we're a different breed. You know, they have their own little spunk to their game of basketball, but I don't think it's nothing like the Mecca. You know, so I gotta, you know, they'll argue with me on that all day, but it's
Right.
okay.
Randy said we sent your W-2s out last week.
Nah, cash, no tax.
No doubt. So let's talk about this. He said, "What's up, currently?"
I'm not
Thank
getting.
you, my guy from Who Dreams.
Okay, naturally, no, I am.
Always showing support. So let's talk about this for a second, right? And we're gonna jump back to where you at. Have you heard what's going on with the transfer portals? It's like I heard it was like over 1,000 kids in the transfer portal, and I think only 800 and so got picked up, and the other 200 or something is like in limbo and stuck now. Can't go back to the other schools, and no one picked them up.
I was just about to ask you what you mean stuck. Okay.
Unless someone offers them a scholarship, they're done.
I haven't heard that. The only thing I heard about the transfer portal that I knew 3 of the players from St. Peter's was out, and my guess is they're going to Seton Hall. Maybe, I don't know.
Why would you stay? Like,
No, that's what
and I
I'm
understand
saying.
that if a coach leaves, because I know
The games.
at LaSalle where Khalil Brantley at, he went to Boys and Girls. The coach left. The head coach left. So, you know, kids is like, well, I'm out until we figure out what's going on. But a lot of the kids is going to be gone. And I put up a post the other day with Deion Sanders speaking on that, saying like the transfer portal, the new free agency. And, you know, it's again, I love the freedom that kids have, right? But also it's kind of making a lot of our kids quit early. But also on the flip side, is making coaches keep their word and make sure that they do right by these kids, or the kids going to be out, right? So it's like I see it both ways.
It's so many different avenues of all these transfer portals, and you know the way kids are recruited, and there's a lot of I's to dot and T's to.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I don't have much input on that, if I'm being honest. But it's like I feel like the transfer portal started from prep schools when kids are transferring to from out of high school, and it starts from there. And you know now, I think we weren't, when I was coming up, you weren't given the option to build your own business and build your own brand and be a rapper and be a basketball player and have a clothing line. And so, you know, a lot of these kids, they're bigger risk takers, I believe, than we were back then, you know, because there's so much avenues that have opened up and so many more resources that are available to them, that I'm forever grateful for them for, you know. And I think it makes them a little riskier, and just like, you know, and you have different coaches, and you have your AU coach, and then you have your parents, and you have your own self, and not, you know, there's a lot of different influences that have to do with those decisions that these kids are making. And, you know, a lot of the time what you see is, oh, this kid shouldn't have did that, and this kid probably don't even know what he's doing, but he's getting influence from somewhere else. So,
Yeah,
you know, I think
that's a lot of people put pots in that and hands in that pot.
Right. These coaches are actually coaching, and these parents actually want their kids to gain an education. And, you know, it's bigger than basketball, and who's taking care of them, and how, you know, are they keeping their word, and what are they producing while they're there? And when you leave, what do you have to show for that? You know, I told you, my parents came here as immigrants, and I think that's one of the resources I lacked, and never complaining. But my parents made sure that I was good, and I never wanted for anything. But as far as when it came to basketball and those resources, and you know, putting in going above, like traveling above and beyond for basketball, and knowing what coaches to talk to or to switch me in the AAU program and, you know, things of that nature. My parents didn't know much of that. My mom was just that mom that was at every game and was like, yeah, that's my baby. Like, yeah, knock him down, you know, and I can't, it is what it is, you know. And then once I got a little older, I think I won't say it was too late, but like I said, I didn't value the game until I couldn't play it anymore. So I was already athletic. I was in the gym, but I wasn't in the gym working on my craft. I was in the gym working out and playing ball all day. You know what I'm saying? So at some point I began to work out, you know, and then that's when I started to really see my potential. And when I started to try to meet those goals, and then boom, pop ACL tear. But anyways, back to that, you know, these kids, they're different and I love it.
Yeah, that's that girl the other night from South Carolina. Anything is possible. I don't know her name. If you guys know her name, please put it in the comments.
I don't want to put.
They let her promote her clothing line on national television. I was just clearing like, oh my God, they would never let you do that before.
The game is changing. Like, it's, you know, back then you had people, there was a whole court case for using something.
Right. Shut your whole school down. No NCAA tournament, anything.
Right. What was the NBA game that there was a whole court case where he sued them because he used the image in the NBA Jam or NBA Live. I can't remember.
Yes. The guy from UCLA. Yeah.
But you know,
oh man,
changing where you
name is drawing me a blank. I know exactly who you talked about. Him and his brother. Oh man, and that kind of, he's the godfather of all of this right now. You know, and now you look on the name, image, and likeness list. LeBron James has accumulated like almost $10 million just this year. He's not even in high school. Yeah, Ed O'Bannon. Thank you. Ed O'Bannon. He was the one who spearheaded that from UCLA.
Apparently. Yeah, it's amazing, man, that these kids are able to get an LLC and profit and, you know, build their future and finances and learn about it all. Like I said, you know, I'm not saying the opportunities weren't there, but it wasn't showcased and it wasn't, you know, spoken upon the way it is now. Like, these kids is told to, like, yo, basketball ain't it. Some kids aren't afraid to leave basketball. Like, yeah, I'm nice at ball, but this ain't what I'm going to do, because some realize that that's just not what they want to do. They can do it. They might not love the game. They might love rapping more. That might be their passion. And these kids have learned, which I think is an amazing thing, that if you're not happy, don't do it. You know, there a lot of the times we as athletes, we played because we knew that we were supposed to play a sport, and that's just what it was. Like,
and allowed us to get a free education, which a lot of our parents couldn't afford.
And, like, go to school, you better, I ain't paying for college, so you better get this. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, yo, you know, you want to be a doctor, so let's just go play ball. You know what I'm saying? So you can get this doctor degree so we can see the bigger picture. And some kids think like that. You know, some kids know what they want to do when they're done with basketball. I think that's the thing. When I went into college, I was like, told my mother, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. She was like, get liberal.
That's a whole nother conversation, because you and I are in the school system, and I'm at high school, and I see this with my nieces and nephews. I see this with the kids who graduate. Once they finish high school, they have no clue what they want to do. Then you go to college and spend another 4 years and have no clue what you want to do or what you can do.
I think they should change the game of doing an internship when you're in college. I think you should be able to do an internship and then go to college. I don't think you should pay for, if you're paying for school, right? Or whether, even if you're not paying for school, because you're still giving your time. To where I think I may be good at this, and this is what I may want to do. So let me lock in 4 years and pay a tuition and you know, loan some money, a couple $1,000. And, you know, if it works out, then yeah, you know, I'm happy. But if it doesn't, I have a degree and I have no use for it, because now I found a passion for something else because I lucked up on a job, you know, and it goes on. So it's like, I think I've always said that. I can't stress that enough. You know, being an athlete and going to school and then being a non-athlete and attending college. Like, I was just like, what do I really want to do? Like, you know, so I really think I don't know, somebody that's out there, maybe I'm gonna start it up. Maybe this is a caller right now, but internships need to happen before college. Or they can even happen in high school. Like, nowadays, these kids, they want the money, like, you know, but that's a whole nother legal aspect.
Yeah, and listen, they're making it possible for kids to earn money because that's another human being they can tax. So kids, make sure you have your taxes in order because they're going to come after you because now everybody knows what you're making, right?
Yeah, Florida just entered that they're about to start teaching like have finance classes and stuff in high school, right? Was that Florida? Yeah, I think that's, you know, it's vital. It's a lot of us are
That they
lost.
should have tax. They should know. Kids should know how to do their taxes, know about taxes. You know, interest rates and all of those things coming out of high school. It will make a world of a difference. So you down at Southwestern College in San Diego. How was life for you coming from New York City and going out to the West Coast? Let's talk about that.
Man, I love the atmosphere. I love the scenery. I love the weather.
Oh yeah.
But when it rained, it poured. It was beautiful. I wasn't a fan that I wasn't able to walk outside my house and just go to the store if I wanted a bag of chips. That I wasn't a fan of. And at the point, I wasn't driving. So I was like, dang, I got to call my teammate or I got to take this walk. I'm all right. Like, you know, and out there, gas was $5 back then. So, you know, I asked the teammate, like, yo, if you drive me home now, you got $5? Like, damn, I live like 3 blocks away in New York. Like, that's 3 New York blocks like this.
Right.
You know, it was amazing. When I was there, I didn't enjoy it for what it was in a sense of I was a basketball head. I was in class from 8 to 1. I was, what was I doing? I was probably in training, getting ice, doing something, stretching. By 3 o'clock, we had practice. We wasn't getting out till 6. After 6, I was going to 24-hour fitness, and I was playing ball till about 9, 10, sometimes 11 o'clock. And then we were going to In-N-Out Burger. We grabbed something to eat. And then I'm back at the house, do it all over again. That was literally the life. You know, I didn't start to explore San Diego until I tore my ACL. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not staying in this house all day.
Isn't that crazy, right? And they call us student athletes, but we really athlete students. Let's keep it a buck, you know. Listen, as a college athlete, we spend more time prepping and playing basketball than we are in the classroom.
Yeah. You notice
I call it something else. It's crazy.
I didn't even put that in a day, but I did that too, though. I did that. That's how I made it up.
Yeah, listen, you're responsible for your work regardless.
Yes, most definitely.
You're responsible for your work regardless, but the amount of time that we spend as athletes playing basketball, training, getting ice, stretching, you know, doing all of those things, building up to the game, and God forbid when the season starts, you better be able to squeeze that work in.
Right.
It ain't squeeze that basketball in. You better be able to squeeze that work in.
And that's a lot of athletes don't understand that work starts long before the season starts. That's supposed to be the easy part because you're supposed to put in all the hard work before that, so that game becomes easier. And I think that's my San Diego team. We had. So I didn't even mention who I was going to 24-hour fitness was with my starting 5. Well, my other 4 players, or at least 2 or 3 of them was with us. So we had that chemistry out on and off the court. So like our road trips, like our game San Diego. I don't know if it's a San Diego thing, but we played before the boys. We had a crazy home atmosphere. We always got love. Our girls volleyball team won a championship. Our boys football team won a championship. Track and field won a championship. The boys basketball won a championship. So our school, so the way it looks now is because of us. But
Talk that talk, y'all. Talk that talk. That's right.
The atmosphere was great. As far as and we were hooping all the time, like literally all the time, and it just became easy. Like we knew where the other person was going to be on the court. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to talk much. We did not have to talk much. I'll tell you this though, going down to LA Valley, I was brought back home to Brooklyn. We got gritty out there. That's one of those games I'll never forget. It was about a 2.5 hour drive, maybe about 3.5, 4, depending on traffic out there. But they gave us a run for our money. We went into double overtime and we won by 1. We had to get escorted out because we knew we knew they was waiting for us.
It was hood down there. It was hood down there.
It was hood. It was hood, and they was upset because they lost, and they lost at home, and we took that was a long drive back, and we enjoyed every bit of it. And I think that was a game, if I can remember, that was definitely a game we needed to win. We weren't losing, and that was going to be possibly our first game that we would have lost, and we weren't having it. We pulled it out. We definitely pulled it out. We all walked out with ice bags. It was an ugly game. Everybody hit the floor at least once or twice, pretty aggressively. And I got the tech.
Yeah, right. Listen, I hear Gilbert Arenas always talking about the LA Valley, and from our point of view, you like, you're a Valley dude. Ain't nothing hood out there. But now hearing it from you, it's like,
I mean, New Yorkers, because we think we the toughest. I mean, we just, as New Yorkers, we like, you from where? Because we go anywhere, you from New York, they be like, oh yeah, you from what's up? Like,
right.
I mean, LA, you're known for the Hollywood, and whatever, or maybe Compton. They, that's what they pull on us. I'm like, yo, LA ain't tough, but nah, they got some rough, they got some rough.
Yeah, definitely. I know now that I'm older, but
yeah, they definitely have some rough parts, and that was definitely a rough part, but we made it out.
So as I'm hearing, Southwestern College was a good fit for your playing style and the mentality, because you had like-minded girls that you were playing with that was just as tough as you and wanted to, play with you as well.
Yeah, my coach ended up going to, I believe he went to St. Francis, or he was supposed to go to St. Francis College, and then he ended up going to SFU. Right, that's the maroon and gold, right? South Florida. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So him having a little experience in New York, actually, I saw him in West Fourth. I actually happened to meet him in West Fourth at some point as well. And what he liked about me, it was my trash talking and my defense and my game and my aggression. So actually, when I went to go visit in November and we practiced, my teammates didn't like me. Like, it was just like, yo, who's this? Why? Like, because it wasn't a thing, like, for me to be in your face and locking up and like, yeah, I'm here. Like, she looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you so angry? Because everybody in California, not everybody's nice, but they're like sweet compared to. So I look like they're like, why are you so angry? And I'm like, I'm just trying to get the ball. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And my coach was the coach that was on the sideline. That he was the instigator. Like, yeah, like, that's Brooklyn. Like, and so he'll make it worse. Like, and he just always loved Brooklyn and me in New York. He's a big fan of New York. So, we have a couple. I don't know if you know. I'm pretty sure you know Justin Bright, Humble Development.
I'm not too familiar, but I heard of the company. Yes.
Kids. He went there. Snacks went there. Snacks went to South Shore High School. Devon Davis went to South Shore High School. He went out there. So we were all out there. We had a lot of New York out there. So the atmosphere was even better.
And that makes it a little bit easier, right? People that you can connect with that's from the town.
Yeah. I wasn't the only one they was making, because they always think that we say son and yo in every sentence. So every sentence. They're like, yo, what up, son? What up, B?
Right. Wow. Let's talk about that undefeated season, right? In that conference championship. How was that year so magical, and what did y'all do to be able to go undefeated and win the conference championship?
I think our chemistry more than anything. We had talent. We had talent, and it was split evenly. You know, so nobody needed to take anybody else's shine. And we weren't a big team. We didn't have 20 girls. So, you know, everybody played a part. Um, and our coach he was a brother, he was a father figure, he was a coach, he was a mentor. You know, we all bumped heads, but we were family. We had bonding time. You know, he grilled. We was all at the house with his kids. His son actually plays. Oh my goodness, Tayshawn Cherry. He was at Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at Arizona, and now he's oh my Grand Canyon. Now he plays for Grand Canyon University. So he's, you know, he's always been in the game of basketball, and he he then eventually had a daughter, and I think that actually made him a little softer, and we took advantage of that. But yeah, we were able to just dominate. We practiced hard. We were in a weight room. Our coach gave us our assignments. We got it done, as they would say now. We understood our assignment. We got it done. We you know, if I'm being honest too, we had competition. There were most of our schools, we had close games, but there were like one or two schools we knew we was just taking out. Grossmont were one of the schools that was our rival. Like when we went there, when they came here, we needed the house packed. We needed love. Everyone was traveling to that gym, and that was another game I got to tech. But we won.
Well, hold on. All right, hold on. Let's go, because I know you mentioned, you know, you picked up a tech every now and again. Oh, how would you pick up these techs? By talking or by your aggressive play?
So as a basketball player, I didn't understand not allowing one to land and why that's a foul if I'm going for the ball as well, or if we're both going for the ball and I might have, you know, and I mean, some of them were, you know, I knew they were fouls or whatever, or if I'll get fouled or you call that foul down there, but you don't call the one way, I just almost, you know, and I'm like, ref, like I'm talking to the ref. And my coach allowed me to talk to the ref.
Right.
So it was like I got the green light to get attacked. So it was like, you know, and I mean, I wouldn't, obviously I'm not doing it, you know, we're down 2 and I'm just emotional and whatever. But there was one where I was emotional and I think it didn't cause us, but it was big. You know, and now being a referee, I'm humbled a lot. You know, and I appreciate those moments because I'm able to reflect and, you know, just look back into how I was able to utilize those moments and be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I've learned to love it and teach the kids game through the avenue too, especially when I ref little kids. You know, it's less.
Are you more understanding now?
Yeah, I'm definitely more understanding. A whole different perspective. To become an official, you actually have to unlearn what you think you know. Because you don't know much once you actually understand officiating by the book and what's said in the book. You know, so it's crazy. I still look back sometimes and I'm like, yo, you're a whole ref and you used to curse refs out and you yelling at them, and you know, now you the one getting yelled at, and now I look at these people like, oh, this is how the refs felt when I was talking to them, because I look at them like, oh, okay, because they love you and they hate you. Because they're going to be like, yeah, good call, ref. And the next one, ref, you suck. Like, yeah, I know.
There you go. That's right.
Like, so it's all right. Like, you know, I learned not to take it personal, because that you can become, you know, you can get caught up in all of that. You can't take any of that personal. It becomes a different game then, and it's not worth it. You know, I'm here to ref and, you know, here for the kids. But sometimes the parents are worse than the kids. They are worse than the kids. I'm gonna say not sometimes, most of the time.
Right.
Kids.
Well, so, let me tell you a little story real quick, right? We was this year, we was in Staten Island, me and a friend of mine's, we was watching St. Peter's play against St. Joseph by the Sea. And my guy said to the referee, because the referee was right near us, so he didn't have to yell. He was just like, yo, come on, call it both ways. And the referee turned around, pointed his finger at my guy and yelled, you, shut up in front of like everyone.
Abusing authority.
Now, so my guy, of course,
That's not even authority.
he wasn't having it, but I told him to chill out, relax, cool, no need to go overboard. At halftime, my guy went to the concession stand, and the same referee turned around and was egging him on a little bit and wanted my guy to say something so he could throw him out the gym. My guy just turned around and even go to the concession stand, and he was just like, yo, Pooh, do you see what he just said to me? Like, do you believe this? I said, yo, I just watched the whole thing. And, you know, we talked about it, and then on our way home, we got a call that said that referee, he actually went to St. Peter's High School.
It's personal.
It's personal. And you know,
bad.
after...
Well, you know, it's stuff like that when people know that they usually don't assign you to games when you want, like you're an alumni.
From what I heard, I thought so too, but from what I heard, sometimes they overlook that.
It was a league game?
It was a league game. This is a real story. Like, if you scroll down to my timeline, you will see it because I posted him the next day and called him the most unprofessional ref in New York City. And people went ballistics. You know, of course, you had people defending him, talking about the fans and the parents. Like, I was just a dude who heard it from somebody else. They didn't realize that I was right there witnessing the whole thing. And then you had other comments saying, you know, this guy's still up to his same tricks. Another guy said, you know, he ruined my whole high school career. So, you know, I call him the godfather of the show. One of my mentors, Coach Ray Haskins, legendary coach and referee for over 50 years. I told him the situation. He knows me and knows my character and said, you know, did he say that right in front of you? You know, it's like, yes. Did you witness it? Yes. He was unprofessional. He said, you didn't call him a bad ref. He was just unprofessional at his job. And of course, you know, I had to call my lawyer to make sure I couldn't be sued. He said, nah, Pooh, you good. So, you know, in retrospect, and again, this is, you know, I have a lot of good friends who are a lot of, you know, they're top referees, you know, Earl Robinson, Arthur Walker, you know, of course I know Brimmer, you know, and I'm getting to know Heather. So these people, you know, I have some relations with and I respect on a high level and would do nothing to try to damage the referee's craft because I always highlight them. I put referees up and I spot them, you know, because they're all a part of the game. But that was a situation that, you know, I just thought was uncalled for. And like you said, it was abusing of his power that he had, you know.
I mean, unfortunately, you know, you have some people that bring their personal life, their own emotions into the game. And I think I'm not going to sit here and say my first games, you know, the first time someone yelled at me, I didn't nut something back or look at you crazy like, yeah, say something else. Like, you know, or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes they do get out of hand. I mean, the situation you explained just now was definitely, obviously, totally uncalled for. Especially now, I learned, like, if you're in the stands, I don't even have to acknowledge you. Now, if you say, you know, something personally disrespectful to where you're threatening me or something else.
Right. When there's threat, you get thrown out, and I would never stand behind that.
But get thrown out. Most people don't understand. I could blow my whistle and sit here and say, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe in this vicinity. I can't continue this game. And that's game. You get what I'm saying? So, and if I don't feel safe, we can't continue. I just got threatened. So until he's, I can't step foot on this court because I don't know who he has outside waiting. Because people, there's been stories and unfortunately things have happened. And to me, it's just not worth it. I'm here for the game and I'm here for a check, obviously. So I'm going to get in and get out. But I'm not going to allow you to haggle me and disrespect me. And you know what I'm saying? So I had a situation as such, actually, in Dunkers. I had a coach tell me he was going to make sure that I never ref in New York City again. I had a great season this season, by the way. So, you know.
That's one thing I know, like, you know, you guys stick together, and unless someone does something that's outside of their job, that the board and your referees, they're gonna stick by you. You know, I mean, that's one thing I know. And we're running the tournament, and Earl is our signer, and you know, listen, everybody knows Earl Robinson history in New York City basketball, on and off the court, but he does not tolerate anyone playing with his referees. He will not. He does not have it, and I respect him for that, because you know, you guys are part of the game and should be protected. So
Yeah. I mean, because
I
at
do
the
agree.
walk out of this park, or when I walk out of this school, I'm a regular civilian. I gotta go live my regular life, and some people just take it beyond that. And I'm just like, yeah, you can have it. You whatever you want to do, as long as you don't touch me and we don't go any further, we got, you know. And when you once you give them a response, that's when, you know what I'm saying, you kind of egg it on for them to just keep going. When people get pissed off when you ignore them, and I learned that now. You know,
Yeah.
it takes us a minute to realize that, but you know, sometimes a response is no response, and that one hurts more sometimes. You know, so you just, you know, say less and just let them keep talking, because that's just what it is.
Spectators are there to spectate and be fans, and the that's the fans is the short abbreviation for fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
once you're able to separate yourself from the fanatics and you're being part of the game, it makes things a lot easier, you know? So let's talk about, and then we're going to move right into the referee. You know, you talked about you had a goal of being able to touch the rim, and hopefully, you know, I know that next step will be dunking it. How did you tear your ACL that made you walk away from the game?
Playing too much defense and pick up basketball. So I had just finished lifting. You know, it was a regular day, like I told you. You know, after practice, I went to 24-hour fitness. No, sorry, at this time we were in off season, so there was no practice. So I went to 24-hour fitness just to lift. And I love leg day. I wasn't really an arm person, upper body workout person at that time. And I worked out for about an hour, and then I went to go play pickup basketball for about 2 hours. I was one out of two females on the court. Uh, my teammate player cut back door. I stepped up. He went to go lay the ball up. I blocked the shot. So at that point, everyone's trash talking him because I'm a female and I blocked his shot. They get the ball back because obviously the ball went out of bounds. So we check the ball again. Same play gets ran. He cuts back door again. I jump with him. He tried to dunk on me. Yep. I never forget. Man, listen. And I was like that. It was just because he was embarrassed. He didn't dunk, by the way. He didn't get the dunk.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Yes. For what it's worth, he failed at getting a dunk. You know, if I knew he was gonna do that, I wasn't, you know, I would definitely wouldn't have jumped, as it wasn't worth it to me and pick up basketball. But me being the competitor and the aggressive player that I was, that was my problem. You know, you weren't told when you play pickup basketball, like, it ain't that serious. You still have a whole season to go take care of your body, you know. Don't work out for 2 hours and then go play pickup ball for 3 hours and then go to practice the next day. You know, so to play devil's advocate as well, I also feel like my body was a little wear and tear from the work that I just put in. You know, and at that point we weren't, I think I just figured out what an ACL, you know, injuries weren't that common. And then I was like in that era where everyone was literally tearing the ACL, and it was a lot of females and a lot of players. It was like an ACL era, like,
yeah,
you know, so that happened. That's how that went down. And I heard it right in midair, and it wasn't until I got on the floor and I saw it, and my knee just went, and that's when I felt everything, and I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a sad day, man. It was a sad day. But I mean, I'm 4 surgeries later. You know, I'm still able to serve the game. I'm able to run up and down. I personal train. The doctors told me by 30 I would need a knee replacement. I think I now rehab myself at this point where I've learned my body, and I know my you know, the muscles and all that, and how the body works and what I need to do to give myself that physical therapy that I need. You know, I'm not a doctor or anything of that nature, but being an athlete and being in a weight room and being a part of a track team and being in the weight room and having some direction of what to do in the gym and how my body works and what moves what muscle, you know, I'm able to do so. So, I mean, things happen. I held on to that for a very, very, very long time, you know, and you learn the longer you hold on, the longer you stay stuck in the past. So, you know, I've turned my negatives into positives. I train kids. I'm big on strength and conditioning. During the pandemic, I actually did it was called the Summit with Hoops in the Sun with Joe Cruz, the Cruz brothers.
Definitely. I'm definitely going to get in contact with them. One of the guys from Hoops in the Sun reached out to him, let him know I respect what they do, and he passed me the brother Cruz number, and going to get him on here before the summer starts. So I definitely want to give them their flowers.
We were out there the whole pandemic, and you know, we had I don't know if you ever been out there by the beach where they play at it's a beautiful setting. You got the sand right there, you got the basketball courts, you got the handball court.
It's like California. It's like, you know, Venice Beach, right?
Venice
right.
Beach. And we turned the sand into speed and agility. We turned the handball court into strength and conditioning. We turned obviously the court into ball handling and shooting. You know, and we showed different avenues of the game. Then we ended with a cookout and water fights, and it was beautiful. You know, I enjoy training. I enjoy training kids for sure. Being able to help them produce and teach them about injury prevention and things of that nature that we weren't taught. Like now, you go to college, they got yoga instructors and strength and conditioning coaches. Back then, you had a trainer that you go to when you get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't really have somebody in the weight room with you other than coach. And coach, technically, if we're being honest, he's not a personal trainer. He doesn't know, you know what I'm saying? He's not certified to know how the body works and this, that. He's a basketball coach. But you had a lot of basketball coaches that had to be strength and conditioning coach, stretch coaches. And, you know, we were just touching our toes left and right. There's so many different ways we could stretch to protect our bodies now. And, you know, those resources wasn't provided then, or they weren't broadcasted. I won't say they weren't provided, but they weren't spoken upon. So I think it's a beautiful thing now that they're implemented. You know, but yeah, every time I look at players' knees, and it's bad. Even when I referee now, and the player's on the floor on his knee and he wants to get back up, I'm like, technically by the book, if as long as that player's on the floor, the game doesn't start. Players, they go to their bench, they stay on the floor, and I'm not a personal trainer, so I'm not even supposed to touch this kid. And I'm like, and I'm like, yeah, you're an official right now, like, you know. But it's like, even if they twist their ankle, I'm like, don't let that, you don't untie that shoe, don't, you know, whatever the case may be. So it's like I'm always on. It's hard to separate the teacher from the personal trainer, from the officiating, from the basketball.
Yeah.
That's literally. Yeah. I don't even think I can. I don't even watch basketball like a basketball player anymore. Like I'm talking to the refs the whole time when I'm watching the game, and it's so annoying to anybody.
No, my guys do the same thing. Definitely, they do the same thing. They watch it from a referee perspective. Yeah. Now, a question that I want to ask you, because you're a strength and conditioning coach and trainer and all those things. Should a kid be playing AAU and so many tournaments and not working on their bodies? Like, how can they balance that? Because, you know, again, a friend of mine's have a son that plays high school basketball, and he's going to be going to college in a few years. And we always just talk about him getting his body stronger, right? And I think a lot of times I suffered from that as well, being younger, not working on my body as much as I played. And I played more than I worked on my body. What advice do you have for kids now that are stuck in the same position?
I mean, I feel as kids, we don't believe things until we become adults, and we're like, damn, you know, coach been telling me, you know what I'm saying, don't cheat yourself, don't, you know. So it's like, it's a barrier that I think is definitely being broken now, because like I said, those resources are being provided. You're able to get those yoga instruction, and now these kids are having personal trainers, and they're going to their own sessions. And those parents that are fortunate to create a path to be like, you know, you need a stretch too, and we need to go get you some, you need to go in an ice bath, and we're gonna get you a stretch coach. And you know, some parents and some coaches and some programs and organizations do invest in those resources, you know, for the kids. I mean, I would say, if I'm honestly speaking, it's for the higher. You know, you already know that this kid is supposed to go to the NBA or he's supposed to go here. Um, it's not really for everyone. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not a unit that where it's like, all right, everybody has to do this. But I do see now that a lot of high schools are they're hiring strength and conditioning coaches, which I think is amazing. I also think, you know, not only about the physicality of it, mental health coaches. I think that's very important, especially with social media and everything going on in this world now. You know, yoga instructors, and just having those bonding times, and not just, like you said, not just practicing all the time, because that also can mentally take you to another place, even, you know what I'm saying, whether you're stretching or not, like, and that wears and tears the body, because that creates stress, and it's unconsciously that stress that kids don't identify as stress, you know what I'm saying, because they love the game. You know, some players are playing the game, and because dad wants me to play the game and I'm supposed to be nice, and they probably might not like the game, and you don't know what's going on up there, and their body is wearing and tearing because they're mentally not all together. um so I know I get very passionate about this, because I think it's something that's very important, that we are missing. I think it's coming. I think you know, we're getting there, because we're breaking the barrier of believing that mental health is something negative, you know, that because we need, you know, we need some structure, we need a life coach, or we need therapy, that it's something negative. And I think it's big to be able to talk to your coach or talk to whoever. But we need those resources, the yoga, the stretching, whatever it is, we need it. But these kids are blessed with way more that, you know, that's exposed now than it was before. So I tell
Yeah.
everybody, take care of your body first, because if your body's not right, you can't do much. And you know, sadly, that's what coaches want you for. You know, coach can love you, but if you can't play basketball, what is he gonna do with you then? You know, and I think that's a big question from a young age. You know, these kids, you know, you get blinded, and some coaches love you, some coaches just coach you, some coaches deal with you for the years, and then, you know, you're on to the next one, and you got to take care of you, because if you're not right, then what good are you to you before anybody else?
So real, so real. What was it like coming home and rediscovering yourself?
It was tough. It was tough. It was definitely tough. I I finally hung it up when I realized, you know, that was 2013. I came back home, um, you know, and that was supposed to be the year that I was supposed to be done my 4 years, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
graduating my bachelor's, not my. And you know, obviously the way the time works with your clock and stuff. If I was taking full time, if I was a full-time student, then my clock would have been running while I was injured. So I was only able to take like 1 to 2 classes when I was injured, and I tore my ACL 3 times back to back. So I was not taking many classes, you know, all at once. So eventually, when I was just like, you know, I was working in San Diego, and it wasn't for me at that time, and I was just like, I'm ready to go back home and, you know, pull back together, just figure out what I want to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I've always had a niche for kids. So I think I started out that summer. I did you know, a summer camp, and then I I was actually an assistant dean at Boys and Girls High School. Um, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed making a difference, and, you know, creating that impact, and being around our culture kids, and helping them when need be, and doing it, you know, at my alma mater, and being there and saying I came from this place, and I was able to still produce and make an impact even after I left. Um, then we had a different principal there, and I was nominated, and I got into the Department of Education. And I'm figuring that out now. I love it. You know, But I'm always staying in sports, and I'm always staying with kids. So I didn't fully accept that basketball was it, you know. And at the time, I knew you know, you didn't only have to play basketball to be connected to basketball,
Right.
but there were so many different avenues that I didn't connect with because all I knew was playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have the journalism, and you have the public speaking, and you have the sport management, and you know, and that's what I ended up getting my degree in at LIU Brooklyn. Sport management. I was doing, you know, I was working with a sport marketing company where I work with Nike, and I work with a lot of different clients where we were producing basketball events for high school kids and kids of different ages, and even unlimited basketball, and even showing me that avenue. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I enjoy doing this, you know, like this. You know, I like running things. So it was like, you know, the position I was in, it was like I was overseeing the basketball operations and things of that nature. So it was like, all right, cool. Sport management, that's what I want to do. You know, then I stumbled upon, like, referees always been around. So it's not even to say that you know, I didn't know I can be a referee. But if you play basketball, I feel like there's some stigma that you're not supposed to be a referee. You know what I'm saying? Like, because
I think those, to me, those make some of the best
right,
referees. Now, you know, of course, it's a lot of referees that didn't play the sport, but for me, it's a different connection. You know, even watching you ref, you know, there's a reason why I asked you to be on the show, not just because you're a female ref, but I saw the way, you know, you conduct yourself on the court, and then you hear people on the sidelines talking about you, how fair you were, and, you know, you hear those, and I hear the talk, and then I see you again, and it's like, okay, you know, she knows what she's doing, and people kind of get what she's doing and want to make sure she's repping their game. So those are a lot of qualities that I like to see in the referee.
I appreciate that. At a time, man, I learned that I went through the motions when I first started, you know, because I cared what people thought and who was watching and who, and I'm like, yeah. Like, now it's like, yo, I don't care who's here. I didn't even know you were here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he was there.
Right, right.
Um, because it's like I'm here for the kids, and I'm on the court. You have to lock in on the court. Like, if you hearing what's happening out there, then you're not fully
You're
locked
not
in.
doing your job, right?
The brain is a different thing, so you're gonna hear here and there. But if you fully focus on that, then you're not hearing. You're not making all the appropriate calls. You're missing a few, and I mean, and we miss and we make some. But you know what I'm saying? You're not locked in the way you need to be. Um. So yeah. Oh.
Wow.
But I love it, man. This is a different game. I never. My mom laughs about it still too, and my high school coach, I spoke to him not long ago. He's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, officiating. He was like, "Oh, I got to see this." Like, you know, like, he's like, "Yeah, I got to see this. Like, what does this look like?" You know, like, not you refereeing. Like, you put the stripes on. I'm like, "Yeah, me."
Yeah. How difficult is it for female refs, or do you find it they take it easy on you? Which one?
Some coaches see me and be like, "Damn, we got a female ref." Like, you see it on their faces. They don't even know it. And you know what's crazy? Some partners that you get when they see you, that, you know, and I ain't gonna down talk anybody, but sometimes it happens. And I'm being realistic. It happens where you can tell you get a partner and he's like, "Damn, she's a female." He's already, like, it's a thing. He already thinking you don't know what you're doing because
Wow,
you
that's crazy.
still stuck back there. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? And there was a time I would allow that to make me uncomfortable. Like, now, but as my game grew and I gained confidence in knowing what I was doing, and I'm not perfect, but gaining that confidence and knowing who I am and the impact that I make on the court and how tall I stand when I make my calls and things of that nature, it was just like, yeah, all right. Because 9 times out of 10 at halftime, it's like, "Oh, so how long you been reffing?" "Yeah, because you thought I was gonna come in here and you was gonna do all the work and you was gonna be looking bad because I was gonna," you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying that all in my head, and it's already unconsciously, they might not even know they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? But it happens. It happens all the time. Coaches is like, "Yo, coach, your hair," especially in summer basketball. "Oh, she don't even know what she's doing. Where's the other ref?" And they're stressed out. And I'm like, yeah. And now I love it. Like, I embrace it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I make you uncomfortable. Like, all right. But you here for the kids though, right, coach? All right, cool. You know, so I love it, man. It's tough. I think, you know, being a female in any industry, in any game, you know, it's tough. But we're breaking those barriers, and we're making people uncomfortable, and I think we're winning at that. So, you know, and it's not a competition because we don't want to be better than the men. We just want to be recognized just as much, and we're breaking those barriers, and we're striving, and it makes people uncomfortable. The game is changing, and a lot of people can't accept change, you know. But we making moves, and we
Listen,
doing. Shout out to all my females out
you
there.
can't tell me. One of the biggest mistakes I made, uh,
Janae,
my guy Arthur Walker, he introduces me to Heather, and I said, Heather, I watch you ref. You like one of the top female referees. She was like, females, one of the top referees, period. I was like, oh,
wait, hold on.
right?
Female athlete is not achieved by gender.
That
not,
yo,
not
and that's why I'm coming on to rephrase what I said in the beginning. But I just wanted to put that question because, you know, of course, guys, you said guys see you coming on the court and they see you just as a female and not seeing you as an athlete or just a referee, period. And when we talk about some of the top referees, she's better than 99% of all the guys.
Let me tell you something. As a kid, I ain't like Heather. I tell her that all the time. I didn't like Heather because her aura, it makes you uncomfortable. But now, being an official, I understand her aura. I understand her aggression. You know what I'm saying? And some people just judge her walking in because she walks with that chip. She got it. Why not? Like, what's the problem? You know, but it makes people uncomfortable. That is the real problem. So, but that's your problem because I'm comfortable and I know who I am. So now I look at her in a whole different light. She's actually been one of the refs, you know, to give me games and assign me and mentor me and give me words of advice. And I just saw her actually at the PSAL championship, and we're talking about camps and we're talking about, you know what I'm saying, progressing my game because I know she is one of those that will definitely help me get to where I want to be, you know, and even better. And not for nothing, she doesn't sugarcoat anything.
She doesn't sugarcoat. Let me tell you, I wish I would have videotaped this. It's her and Ray Haskins, Coach Haskins, on the sideline. They're debating the call, and she's reenacting what happened, and they're debating. It was such a classic moment. I just wish I just would have filmed it, but I wanted them to have their moment. You know, I don't like to tape everything. Some people just want to tape everything, but me just seeing that and knowing that here she is debating a legendary referee coach, a man who's been doing this a long time, and she stood her ground on the way she saw the call. It was amazing. One of the best things I've seen for as referees debating each other and having fun doing it. You know, salute to Heather, man. That's real talk.
They'll definitely try to, coaches will try to do it to me all the time because I'm a female and I don't know the game. So they'll try to psych me out and be like, yo, that wasn't even, and I sit here and tell you, and when I hit them with words from the book, they're like, huh? Yeah, you didn't know, you don't even know the terminology in this book and why I made that call. Because he was in legal guarding position and he was able to, you know, he's like, what? Yeah. He's not three. Yeah, this is what it is. You know, and they're like, and they don't like that. So then you become, you know, then they start rah-rah and they talk, oh, she sucks. And it's cool, but my call, I still made my call. That's my call and I'm standing on it. And it just is what it is.
Coach Haskins, you saw, even though he was standing his ground, he had so much respect for Heather. It was just like, okay, well, you think what you think, and I know what I, you know. And I just love that camaraderie with the referees. It was just a major scene to see. So Heather, not hopefully, I just got to give you the call, make it happen. So we're going to do it sometime in May and June before the summer season starts.
Definitely. She definitely needs to be up here.
Oh, for sure. Her and Brimmer, right? So I want to make sure I get both of them before they get so busy during the summertime because, you know, Brimmer's another one, a guy that I really respect as well. You know,
Brim, definitely.
What are some of the toughest games to ref?
I mean, you got those rivalry games. Definitely, playoffs or the summer, the bragging rights, the summer chip games. When you have, as far as tough, when you got two big girls, like, those bigs, and they know how to move their bodies, like, I learned how to officiate that. I was one of those bigs where you get frustrated, and I learned how to hold my whistle because you know how to utilize your body and get in there and get gritty.
Now, is there a difference between refereeing female bigs and guy bigs? Is it a difference?
Unconsciously, I also accepted that guys, he's more aggressive, so he might get an elbow, and you actually might unconsciously let him slide because he's a big dude. You like, yo, that's a big. That's his body. He's moving legally, But when you get girls, you're like big, and I'm like, I changed it. That's something I learned from, you know what I'm saying? Certain things you learn, and you learn how to read the game. Sometimes unconsciously, you're already anticipating certain calls. Those clean basketball, great basketball is easier to ref than a blowout game because kids tend to lose their rhythm of the game. They become erratic, and you know what I'm saying? Those might actually be harder than, I take that back, actually. Rivalry games are actually, in a sense, easier to blow your whistle and to see those calls. They're cleaner because 9 times out of 10, those rivalry games are intense, and it's good basketball and talent, and you got it all the way around. Whereas sometimes, my younger games and the kids are learning and they're a little scrappy, it's tougher. And sometimes you got to hold your whistle because I teach in those games. Some referees, some officials will get mad that I said that. But I teach in those games because these kids are not trying to go to the WNBA tomorrow. They're trying to learn the game of basketball. And when I was that kid, I would hope that, the referee didn't just let me run with the ball. I'll blow my whistle, be like, hey, dribble that ball, try to dribble as much as you can, and then pass it. And they'll be like, oh, okay, hey, you see that black line? Don't step on it. You got to pass the ball first before, and it's fun. But it's also challenging because you're like, oh my God. Like, like sometimes the game, you don't know when the game's going to end. You're like, because if you blow your whistle every ball, we ain't never got it. You're like, yeah, we got to, and I do it for the kids though, so it's amazing. I think every game is challenging. I focus on, like, there's whatever my prior game was, I might have said, hey, I was under the basket too much. I wasn't positioned well, and I would go into that next game like, this is what I'm going to work on. I might say, yo, my foul calls where I was looking a little late, I got to work on that. One of my biggest things is my offensive calls. I get so excited. Like, I'm just like, oh, and I'm like, damn, I kind of did this because, you go here, there. And sometimes I'm just like, beep, go that way. And I'm like, but no one else knows that you didn't do that signal.
Right,
9 times
right.
never really knows that you didn't even do that signal the full correct way. But in your head, you didn't. So I'm like, damn. But you got to, just like the same way you turn the ball over and you got to move on to the next possession. It's the same thing. That possession's over. That call is done with. Like, I got to keep pushing. So I love the game. I think I enjoy it more actually right now. And maybe I'm saying that because my ACL, I shouldn't be playing ball the way I would like to. But yeah, I became certified in 2018, May 2018. And it has served me a lot of avenues, a lot of connections, a lot of sisterhood, brotherhood. I've met some amazing officials, amazing people, amazing coaches. I was able to meet players, and through strength and conditioning, I have talks with them after doing the summer tournaments and things of that nature. And then you get to see some of them. I haven't gotten there yet, but where some of the kids were like in middle school, and now some of them are in college, and I'm like, oh my God, I officiated him. Like, it's a dope experience. I can't be like, yeah, I made him. Like, that's why he's like,
right.
It's dope to see when they progress, and I'm like, kind of makes me feel old when I said that out loud just now. I'm like, oh, look at him. He's, you know, and I didn't even know where it is. So, but yeah, it is an amazing platform that I think is overlooked. You know, it's NBA refs. It's a good that salary, man, and you know they.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let out the bag, but we will have a few NBA refs on here as well. So I'm just holding off for a minute. I just want to make sure I show love to the to the grassroots ref and the referees that's doing it,
That
high school and college level.
beautiful
So,
experience.
yes, definitely the experienced refs out there. What year did you start Legally Fit?
I officially LLC'd it December 2020.
That's
But I
a magical year. People have no idea. That let me tell you something. I'm not gonna get too deep because that's the same year I started Basketball Heads. And people could say, with the pandemic, it was, we was in the house. No, what was going on, the stars was in line for inspiration. It's called the Great Conjunction. Check this out. You can go look it up. Anybody who's listening now. Oh, and those people that's been on here, please go to my YouTube page and subscribe. I forgot to mention that. Please, same name, Basketball Heads, go to my YouTube page and subscribe. I will appreciate that. But the Great Conjunction happened 2020. And I won't go too deep in how the powers that be made sure that we was in the house. But it still happened for a lot of us. That inspiration, that drive to create, right? And those creators and those people who are creators, they made some magical things happen. Like Basketball Heads, like you created Legally Fit. And it was something that you was already into, and you just LLC that made it a business, and now you have clients.
It is what it is, and I love it. I love it. I was hesitant.
Doing push-ups early. You didn't realize this is going to be something that you're going to be doing. Right? Think about early on in the stories you was telling me. I was doing push-ups. I was already working on my legs and loving, physical fitness. And look at this, Legally Fit. How dope is that?
I stumbled upon that. It's crazy the way life comes full circle, and it connects everything. I definitely it's very therapeutic for me. And that's how that's what it was for me. And eventually, I was in the gym and people asked me like, how do you people, you could tell they were just coming in the gym. It was like, how do you do this? Or there was some like I'll see someone and I'll see them doing a squat and like their knees are going over their toes and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like my knees and I'll be like, sorry, like you mind if I, and then a conversation would spark and things of that nature. And that's how I would kind of market myself. And I wasn't even marketing myself at that point, but you are your brand. And
yeah,
I was my brand before my brand was even a brand. And I didn't know it. And it was kind of like, I had friends that was like, come on, let's go work out. And then I had a friend that worked out already. And I'm like, all right, now I want to start lifting weights. Like, I want to start doing this. And it became a thing. And, unfortunately, I lost my father in 2016.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That was a big reason for me getting in the gym, and I'm forever grateful that I was able to turn that into, I deal with life and, that doesn't solve everything, but I was able to turn that into a passion. And it fueled many purposes, from mental health to just keeping fit to making sure that my body is okay, to making a change in others' lives and allowing them to eat healthier and work out and live a different lifestyle. Because I think that's very important for longevity, and that's not stressed upon. Not once during this whole pandemic did they say, hey, go outside, get some fresh air, work out, drink some water, hydrate, what I'm saying? Take care of your body, take some mental health. And that's what we need. I'm no doctor, but, yeah, I stumbled upon that in that sense. And I'm grateful connects to basketball.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I changed my eating habits as well. I don't eat meat anymore. I eat fish every once in a while, but for the most part, I vegan it up. I drink way more water than I used to, and everything. Just you try to complete and make sure that you're around for a while, because we see family members going through a lot of things. So definitely that's very important, and I'm glad that now people can call on you and tell people where they can reach you at.
Right. Legally Fit. I don't know if anybody notices my last name and then my first initial. You see what I did there? Legally Fit. But LEGALLY.FIT1. You could definitely find me on Instagram, obviously, and Facebook. You can email me at legally.fit1@gmail.com for any inquiries. You can DM me after this. You can find me at in the summer at a basketball court. You could you want a session, whatever it is, I'm there. Find me in the park, find me at a gym refereeing, working out, doing something. So I'm here. I'm definitely here. Take care of y'all bodies. Mental health, take care of you, and be great. Keep pushing. Don't let nobody tell you can't. And if you start today or tomorrow. Don't wait for tomorrow.
All right. No, that's good. Make sure y'all check out page Legally Fit, Instagram, hit up on that Gmail, and looking to get your body right. Hit my girl Yaya, man. She gonna do right by you.
I'm here. And I don't only train, because there's apparently I don't only train people to lift weights, because apparently I was told that one of my friends, so she's like, I want to train. She was like, but you lift too many weights. And I'm like, I don't train everybody the way I work out. I work out how I work out, but I'm going to train you to work out. So just to let you know, I adapt to your body and your needs. Everybody has different needs and different goals. So I definitely do that. So I'm here, there's a lot of resources, and we're just trying to make the world a better place. So we here. The pandemic woke us up, and now we're beastie now. So let's get it.
Thanks. All right, so now we're gonna get into our top five. Okay, here's the slew of top fives that hopefully you can get through. Some people say this is the toughest part of the show, but it's only five. You only can mention five. All right. Now, if your memory serves you well, right, I want to go back to your boys and girls days, right? And if you can remember some who played in the past and some who played after you, because I know you played there and then you came back and saw some as well, right? If you can remember, top five girls that played at Boys and Girls. Well, we mentioned one at the top of the show, so
Ruth Lovelace. Girls, I don't know that many girls, so I'm gonna go.
We can go top five players that played at Boys and Girls.
Girl, Big Love. I'm gonna go Jen. That's Big Love, Jennifer. I'm gonna go with Michelle. She was Michelle Folks at the time. Now she's Michelle Peebles.
Yes.
That was three, right?
Yes.
Dang, I'm so horrible with names. That's crazy. Definitely gonna go with my girl, Freshie. I ain't gonna put a full government out there. I'm gonna definitely put Freshie out there.
She was Freshie. Okay.
Young energy that we needed. And I'm gonna go with me.
All right.
Go with me.
That's real talk. All right. Top five tournaments you refed in.
Dunkers. Gersh. Main event. I'm missing one.
Missing two.
NYC Prospects.
Nice.
But that's summer though, right?
Huh?
You said summer tournaments?
Yeah, I just said tournaments, period. I didn't say summer tournaments.
Prospect, okay, I'm about to say his summer didn't get it. He ain't hit yet with the summer, but he's coming. I know he's coming with them summer tournaments.
Right. I know they do a high school showcase and all those things in the summertime as well.
Yeah, he has one coming up. He has one coming up too. But
last one.
And I know somebody cursing me out that I'm even thinking this hard. Like, you shouldn't be thinking this hard. But there's so many parks. I'm over here like, damn, where else have I been?
You mentioned one that you trained at, and you know, used the sand and all that.
Oh my goodness, yes, I definitely refereed at Hoops in the Sun as well. Jesus, my bad, Cruzy, if you watching.
I want to throw that in there because they definitely do a great job. Now, last one. I don't want you to get in trouble on this, but you can take some water for this one.
Okay. What's about that?
Top 5 referees in New York City.
Yeah.
It's not putting anyone down. It's not putting anyone down. It's just, you know, you can talk about the referees who inspired you, who helped you, and ones that you look up to.
Irk, he started trouble. Irk in here. He started trouble, Irk.
Listen, I didn't really go with like
Irk already gave me
top 5s. I let you live a little bit.
Like, I better be in there. You see the emoji? Like, I better be in there.
Yeah, I see.
So shout outs to Irk, man. Irk has given me a platform to referee in a lot of those top 5 NYC tournaments. I say that most definitely, and a lot of other tournaments as well. Definitely Irk, right? Irk top 5. Do you know Irk?
Probably know him if I see him. Trust me.
Irk's that guy, man. Irk's the guy. I'm gonna go with Irk too. He's here. He's here. He already gave me the emoji. Dez. Definitely Dez. I'm gonna go with Twan. As 3. I'm gonna go with Heather. As 4. I'm gonna go with my girl Shanae. And Sinead. Damn, can I go top 6? Like,
nope, told you it's just top 5 for a reason. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
No?
Yeah.
Dang.
No, that was dope. That was dope. Salute to my guy Irk. Salute, Irk. Yeah, listen. You know, hearing you tell your story, look, it never gets old. Everybody's story is different, no matter how many people I interview. Everybody's story is unique, and they have their own path, and you carved out your own. You know, a lot of people, those transitions in life are kind of tough, and I think kids need to see that and understand that, right? Every transition that you make is the next part of your life that you kind of have to figure out and carve out for yourself, and you've carved out a lane for yourself that's gonna, you know, keep you around for a long time. So salute to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. It was an honor. I definitely had fun. Got out my comfort zone being a part of this. This was cool. This was dope. You know, the pandemic got us out of our comfort zone, and here I am. You know, the universe brought us together, and it was a pleasure, man. I appreciate you. You know, this is a dope platform that you created, you know, to gain resources and knowledge, and just get to network and know people, and who's who, and who's out there making a difference, and who needs to connect with who. So I think this is dope, and I'm definitely honored and blessed to be a part. I appreciate you.
No doubt. So, you know, like I always said, this is New York City's platform, and not just New York City. We talking about upstate, Westchester, Long Island, and all around, and you know, upstate and everywhere in between. So you're always welcome back anytime. All right.
Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate you. Keep doing your thing.
You know I'm gonna see you again, y'all. So keep doing your thing, all right? And I appreciate you.
Summer basketball in New York City is about to start, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Have a good one. God bless.
Take care. All right. Well, here we are wrapping up another great interview. This is show 228. Yeah, that's what we do. Listen, no matter what obstacles you face in your life, you know, trials, tribulations, setbacks, some kids, you know, find those transitions difficult. Here's a young lady who started out playing and wasn't eligible, but fought back to get back on the court and made a bad situation good. Earned a scholarship, went out, made the decision to get to the right school, go to the school that she wanted to go to, and discover that she was going to have a great season, undefeated year, conference champion, and then suffer ACL turn, tear her knee, and got to make another transition. A lot of times people give up and stop searching, but somehow the Most High brings us right back to the things we love. She loved to work out and exercise and get her body right. She becomes a referee. And not only she become a referee, she gets to start her own fitness and training business, Legally Fit. So for all you kids out there, don't let the hard times in life set you back. You have to rediscover yourself, figure out what you want to do, and put the next plan in action. So I definitely want to salute our guest tonight. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks for everybody for joining. If you haven't already done so, please go to the YouTube page, press subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. And go check out some legendary interviews, some New York City greats, also referees, grassroots organizations, and some great games like this one, the JV Championship. Oh, yeah. I'm about to be out of here. Just want to say peace to everybody. My name is Glenn Pooh Harding, and you've been watching Basketball Heads, the official home for New York City basketball. Peace.
Y'all ready?
Ready?